out of your teeth.
Good morning.
What is day today? Today is May 1st,
Today is
2016 on Sunday.
Sunday, May 1st, 2016. Welcome,
It's been 2
everybody.
weeks. I can't believe it.
I know, 2 weeks. Well, life happens. Sometimes that happens and you just can't get it together and you can't record. But it was kind of nice. I kind of like the 2 week time frame. I don't know. We may need to make that a regular.
Well, you were saying, well, I've got everything set up for podcast, so I'll just do a Periscope. So
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that was fun. So
Think about how many words I've saved up in 2 weeks. A lot of words.
okay, I'm glad you have a lot of words, but let us at least introduce ourselves first so people know who we are. Okay, so we are the Periscoping Sisters. This is the Periscoping Sisters podcast. We are a podcast about knitting and potentially other crafts along the way. I am Debbie, and I'm
Debbie. I'm not going to be caught by that stitching bug like Sue.
I know.
We've done our fair share of cross stitch in our life, haven't we, Debbie?
Yes.
Years and years and years.
Yes. So let me finish our introductions.
Excuse me for interrupting.
I'm Debbie S. Reese on Instagram, Debbie Reese on Ravelry. I'm the younger sister and I live in California.
You had to say that, didn't you? Well, I'm Amy. I am Inked Indigo on Instagram and Indigo Amy on Ravelry. And I am the older sister and I live in Georgia. What is that you might be drinking out of?
This is my new giant mug from my friend from Georgia. Isn't it fabulous?
Okay, Barb, my favorite BFF from Georgia, knitting girl, she gave me that mug to give to Debbie, and I kept it for a little while, and I showed it on our last podcast. I was tempted to keep it, and I'll have you know, I never drank out of it, so it doesn't have any of my cooties on there, but I did send it to Debbie. And
I love it. And it's got water in it today. Cold water.
Just like Sue. Well, I've got my giant mug. I've got some yummy orange and spice from Bigelow tea. And I don't know about anybody else. I keep my tea bag in there. Even the ones from David that last a week. And no, I haven't taken them out of the garbage yet. But I have been tempted. I need to buy some. So, hey.
Someone talked about that on their podcast.
I know they did. I saw Sue say, well, if you're Amy, you just keep adding water. And Chelsea says, well, did she make a pot? And Sue said, no, I don't think so. I did not, because I was such a dingbat. I just said, boy, this is nice and strong. I just kept that. I said, I'm sure I can stretch more than 1 cup, even in this giant cup, like 4 or 5 cups.
Oh, my gosh.
But I told you I've got a teapot collection. I'm thinking about taking one down and actually making a pot.
You should.
We'll see.
You should do that. Mm. So did we forget anything else?
Well, anyway, the house is...
What?
No, I guess just, welcome. Okay, so every time we do this, we try something new. We still have not gotten it completely correct. But since our little Easter video we did several weeks ago, it was here in my living room. This is some antique angels of my mother's collection that she gave me. And if you can hear in the background, my birdie is going crazy because he hears me and he only whistles for me. And the dogs are outside, and I'm hoping they're not going to start barking. So we're going to try this. I don't have an earpiece in. I'm hoping it's not so tinny. I don't have the luxury where I'm sitting in my house to be covered around me with and things like Debbie. So it is a little echoey, but we're going to try it like this time. But thank you for all of the, the feedback from people giving us feedback. So that's really good. Doing it split screen really is a little bit more challenging than being there together. So
yeah.
We'll just keep on.
That's right.
But hey, Deb, we do have a 2,000 follower giveaway, 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and I thought we should leave that open until we actually hit 2,000. It's creeping up there. I mean, I think we're under 20 to go before we do actually our giveaway.
I looked at it just this morning, and we're at 1984. 1984, wow. Yeah.
I felt really, really badly because I was on that thread in our Ravelry group, which is called Periscoping Sisters, and whenever there's a giveaway, and of course I didn't know anything about Ravelry and all of this until about 3 or 4 months ago. So do not feel bad if you're one of these people. But I deleted a couple posts because one person replied to somebody else, and the other person, it was just a chatter thing. But the thing about it, it doesn't get rid of the number
That's
of the
okay.
post.
If we draw that number, we just draw again. It's not a big deal.
Okay, all right. So maybe I should just leave it. Should I not delete it? And I even messaged those people and I just said, listen, I don't know. Was that being very rude of me?
Well, you did that in the 2,000 subscriber giveaway thread?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think it should be. I don't think that should be a chatter thread. I think it should be one entry per person.
I think, and maybe we should put that in the thread title, no chatter, please, or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe it was our fault.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, so what else do we have? What do we want to do first? Ms. Note, keeper of the notes.
You can be the keeper of the notes too, if you want to do your stuff. I have my notes and you can run the show today.
I do have some notes. Okay, so Nana our mother, who's very famous because everybody just loves Nana. Hi Mom, hi Dad. Nana, I was talking to her this week, and she said for the Life is Short segment that I am to ask a question of you. So I hope you didn't have a...
Or of our viewers?
Yes.
Of me or the viewers? Of me.
Okay. So Nana said, ask Debbie about when her and Daddy went up through Wendy's window to look at the stars for a stargazing / project for school. I never heard this story. Mom told me it, but I don't remember. I couldn't recall it. So tell us what happened.
I think you were probably out on a date with one of your boyfriends at the time.
I'm
probably
sure not. I think we were kind of young. Were we not?
No,
or were we older?
We weren't. We were older. I was probably in high school. Wendy, I think, must have been a senior or a junior. And so.
Okay. I've been out with Chuck, my high school boyfriend.
Yes. So anyway.
We're probably next to the car out front, not realizing what was going on.
Maybe. So Dad and I went up on the roof. Amy and I have talked about this roof. It was an add-on to our house that my parents built, and it was right outside Wendy's windows. She had double windows, and the roof of the family room was only about maybe 6 inches below the bottom of the window. So we could open up the window, we could climb out the window and go on the roof. And we used to spend a lot of summers out there sunbathing up on that rooftop and listening to music and putting lemon in our hair and being crazy. So one night, I don't remember, I had some kind of school project, and it was related to the stars, and Dad always loved astronomy and was always interested in the stars. So he said, well, let's go out and look and see if we can find. So we went out on the roof, and we closed the window back down because it was cold. It was winter time, I think, or maybe not winter, but it was cold outside. So we had the window closed down. It was dark. And for some reason, Wendy didn't know that we were out there, and it was dark, of course, because we're looking at the stars. So she proceeded to come up into her room, and she started to move around in her room, and I think she was going to start getting changed.
Get naked to get changed.
Well, she started to get changed and started to be doing that, and she was getting ready to, and Dad and I turned around and were like, oh, Wendy's in her room. So he leaned down, put his face up in the window, and tapped on the window like that. Oh my God, she about jumped out of her skin. I am not kidding you. She screamed bloody murder, and she shot out of her room and ran down the stairs. And Dad felt so bad because he wasn't trying to scare her or anything. He just wasn't thinking. He didn't think, oh, well, maybe I should, be careful. He just put his face up on there and tapped on the window, and she looked up and her eyes were as big as saucers. And she was crying. Oh my God. It freaked her out. She thought there was a strange man on the roof.
In the middle of nowhere where we lived, like a peeping Tom would climb up on the roof.
I know. And it's so funny because my bedroom window was on that just like 90 degrees from her window. And my window, because the roof sloped, was up quite a bit higher. And I always had fears that someone was going to stand on that roof and just like look in my window. I hated that. Yeah, I hated
Well,
it.
my window was on the second story looking out on the front of the house, so I never had any peeping Tom cares or worries. I mean,
No,
we lived on
you would just get the
8
gun.
acres of land. It was wood.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I was saying,
Anyway.
we'll tell another story of when you perched out one of those windows down towards the front of the house, but that's a story for another day.
Okay, I'll have to get the cobwebs and the Alzheimer's away to kind of be thinking about that one. You may have to tell me when we're not recording. Okay, so 2 things happened yesterday, and I wanted to see if you could guess which story went with which heading. There was something that was really incredibly awesome and something that was a little bit disturbing. Okay, so awesome and disturbing. The 2 titles is Prince, and the other one is Baby Birdies. Which title goes with which story?
Okay, I think the Prince is the awesome story and the Birdies is the disturbing story.
How did you guess? Okay, so.
I'm smart.
I forgot that. You are smart. Okay, so I went out to cut the backyard, which is a fenced-in yard. Ronnie was working on his truck as he left out this morning to take a whole load of golf carts to New Hampshire. So he was working on that. I said, I'm going to go cut the grass. And he hates when I cut the grass and he's not out there doing something like weed eating or blowing. And I said, it's okay. I'm just going to cut the backyard. I kind of like cutting the grass. So I said, but the lawnmower cut off right before I cut the grass the last time and he wasn't home. And I said, you may want to check it. So we went out on the back porch. Of course, the dogs are back there because it's a fenced-in yard. And they usually stay away from me when I cut the grass. So we kind of came out and I walked down the steps. I turned back and there's all this excitement. I have this little, I have this baker's rack on my back porch and it's got some little gardening things and it has this fake flower pot with flowers. Well, there must have been a bird nest that had eggs, that had baby birds that hatched. And in the flutter of me and Ronnie coming out, and the dogs are excited that we're standing there, 2 of the baby birdies flew out of the nest, I think for the very first time, because the mother went flying out into the yard. And they came out behind where we have the 2 crates for the dogs on the back porch, because in the wintertime, they're out there, and Ronnie put 2 little heat lamps. So we have this, these little things to keep the dogs warm. I know, they live like queens and things. So I was just like, oh my gosh, what was that? The next thing I know, Buster has got one of the baby birds in his mouth. Oh my gosh, I about died. I went, Buster, no! Well, he dropped the baby bird right there. He listened, and the baby bird's going, It was like his little eyes were like this. His little beak was going bark, bark. And he was just laying there on the side. And I thought, oh my God. I said, Ronnie, take the dogs inside. So he opened the door and the dogs went running in. And I'm looking at this baby bird. I thought maybe his little leg was broken.
You didn't touch him, did you?
I didn't touch him. But then he kind of flipped, and then he came down like on one of the steps, and I was looking at him. I'm like, oh my God, Ronnie, what do I do? And Ronnie's like, oh no, Amy, oh no. Meanwhile, it's little brother or sisters behind the thing going, chirp, 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 chirp. He doesn't have room to get out to try to even fly. So I'm looking at this like little bird that's like chirping and not sure what to do with it, and he flipped over again. Or I don't know what I was going to do. I was going to pick him up, I guess, and he fell down in behind the steps underneath the porch, and he stopped chirping, and he died. Oh my God, I felt so bad, you guys. Oh. I cried when I hit a rabbit or a squirrel. And it wasn't Buster's fault. He didn't know. He was quick on the draw. Well, so then I said, well, I think that birdie died. So we pulled the things out, and this other little birdie, he jumped up and there, and then he kind of took off and flew across on the fence on the side of the fence closest to the yard. So I said, well, at least that one got away. So I looked, there was no more birds. So I start mowing the yard. Well, I get around to that side of the fence, and there's that little birdie hanging on the fence. Like, I didn't want him to come back up to the nest where the dogs were, So I turned off the lawnmower. I put my hand up there. It crawled up on my fingers No lie. It was a baby. He didn't be scared of me, even though his sister just got chomped by the dog. I did that, and he hopped up on the very top of the fence, and I said, shoo, shoo, and it flew right into the little tree right there. And I woke up this morning, and I said to Ronnie, I'm thinking about that little birdie. What do you think? He's okay? And he says, yeah. And I said, but how's he going to eat? And he says, well, his mom's going to help him. I said, but where is she? And he said, mommies know where the birdies are. We're probably right around, probably saw them in the tree.
Yeah.
And then he said, or maybe she just flew off and left him. Oh my God. I was just like, no, don't make me cry. He says, I'm only kidding. So that was kind of disturbing, although that was really incredible. So yesterday, Ronnie and I we found Purple Rain was playing in Athens. We went down and we watched Purple Rain. Debbie, I've never seen that movie.
Neither have I. No.
Maybe had.
I think I don't know, what year was it made?
I mean, she loved Prince. I mean, that's the only
Yeah.
music we played when we were at the beach. I'm thinking, I wonder if Bob's would know if she watched that. But it was awesome. I mean, it was such an 80s film. Debbie, you've got, see, now that he's passed, see if you can find it playing somewhere. You got to go and watch it.
Yeah, I think it's playing in a couple theaters now that he's gone. So I think they brought it back.
It was really, so that was cool. So those are my two Life is Short stories.
Okay, so now we know it's been 2 weeks since we podcasted last, and we have a feeling, as you can imagine, we probably have a lot to show and a lot to talk about. So I'm just going to tell you right now, it's going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen.
Relax. I have more.
Especially since Amy told 3 stories in the first 18 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I am in so much trouble. Nana, Mom is going to be so mad at me for chatting too much.
Yes. So what would you like to do next?
Let's do work in progress.
Of course. You would pick the one thing that I have nothing of. No, I'm kidding. I have one thing.
I have very short things too.
All my works in progress from last time are now pretty much finished objects. So I couldn't start another project because until today, May 1st, because I'm going to do the knit along for the Fancy Feet and the cookie jar cows. So I'm going to be casting on today some, I've downloaded the pattern from Knitty, and it's the monkey sock. I'm going to do the monkey sock by Cookie A. So This is going to be a work in progress today. So can I at least show my yarn? I was back and forth so many times. I was going to pick one of my new hedgehog colors, and then I said no, and I was going to pick my what is it? What's the one I got just last week? That one up there? Anyway, I decided to use something from my stash. Can you guess what this is?
Wild Orchid from Bula Bula.
Yep, Wild Orchid from Bula. So I'm going to make my socks. I love her sock yarn. It's so spongy and just so yummy.
Hold it up and hold it still so people can see the colors really well. Oh, Debbie. I don't have Wild Orchid. I've seen it, and I can pick it out from any stash.
I love that green. And look, there's
so
a deep purple in there too.
Wow.
Yellows and really, really pretty. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be nice. And my other work why don't you do one now?
Well, speaking of Bula, okay, so as you guys know, or I've talked about, I am knitting up the Because I Love You cowl. And I do want to say a shout out to a sweet girl. Her name is Patricia. She is Paradise_Island on Instagram, but it's not Paradise like you think. It's Pear, Pear. She did my Because I Love You wrap it was beautiful color combination. So we started in messaging. Is that Lukey causing trouble? Yeah.
That's the older one that creeping up the stairs trying to be quiet.
Okay. Hi, James Jr. Love you. So she decided that she would do a test run for the Because I Love You cowl. And her colors are absolutely beautiful. She's using this beautiful cream color and this beautiful teal. So
I
we're knitting
saw
it
it on
together.
Instagram. Now,
Yeah. Okay, so I'm
did
using
she do a little pattern in the stockinette section? It looked like she did like a little pearl every now and then.
Now, interesting you brought that up. So as you know, I cannot, well, I can. I can make myself do stockinette for long times, although I'm not a happy person. So I'm assuming there's other people that get bored, and that's why I modify so many patterns because I get bored with it. It's not that I don't love it. It's not that I think the designers are not right in what they're doing. I just get tired and bored. So because I love you, Cal, there, because it's in the round and you don't have increases and decreases and you don't have picots to keep you busy, I am providing two, actually three options for the stockinette sections. So I got Baron Bula, Graffiti Love Song, and Feather. And
Pretty.
these are beautiful, beautiful colorways. However, and I was messaging Vicki about this, and there's nothing wrong with these colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. But as you can see in the Graffiti Love Song, can you see that very, very long gray? Okay. There's very long gray, and the base is sort of the gray, and then there's all these pops of gorgeous, gorgeous colors, okay? But when it's paired with feather, those long strips of gray get married with feather in the bridge, and the bridge gets completely lost. Let me show the bridge up close.
I don't think it's completely lost. Amy, I think you're a little bit too hard on the pattern. It just looks a little bit more speckled than what your intention was with the design.
Okay, so everybody knows the bridge is like these capitalized M's next to each other, which I really love. Like you can see it really well. Hold on a minute. You can see the M's really well in that little section. Can you see that, Deb?
Yeah. Kind of.
In other sections, it kind of gets a little bit, see, it gets a little bit lost when there's just more speckling. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip it out. I'm going to rip all of it out.
Oh, and it's so pretty, though.
I know, I love it, but I'm going to use Graffiti Love Song for something else. I'm going to recuperate, I'm going to reuse the feather with the orange that I hope you have sent me.
I did.
Okay, so I said that, everybody knows Baragula is out of Germany, and it takes a couple weeks to get her yarns, and I want to try to get this knit up by the end of, I want to try to get the pattern out by the end of May, so I got to get cracking on it. So I said to Vicki, I said, I'll just borrow one of Debbie's Baragula, because the pictures on the pattern, since I'm going to be using her yarns and featuring her yarns, I really want them to be from Baragula. So I said, I'll just steal one of her yarns. And so I'm waiting for a beautiful, the colorway? Vicki couldn't remember. It's like an orange rusty color, sort of a tonal.
It's a tonal.
It's a tonal. It's going to be beautiful, you guys. Okay, so the couple different options for knitting this, if you have a variegated yarn, and you can see I did this in the bottom section, I don't know if you can tell. You choose a color, like I choose gray, and maybe I should have chosen gray initially. You purl all the gray stitches when the gray color's on the left needle. Like, okay, this next section, I did the bright pink. I just purled the bright pink stitches. It gives it a little bit of a 3D effect. Okay, and then the option for there's actually an option for the tonal yarns, which you see on Patricia's. There's a purl repeat, which kind of gives it this little bit of sort of weird rows that it's kind of offset. So I'm going to be glad to rip this out. I'm going to use Graffiti Love Song for something else, but I'm going to use this feather with the orange you're sending to knit up the Because I Love You, Cal, and that hopefully will be up soon, as soon as I get it done and pictures taken and all that stuff. So that's my one work in progress I've been working on, and I'm going to have to take out, but I'll have some more pictures with the new colors pretty soon.
Okay, you want to see?
I have something else, but I don't know if I'm allowed to show it. A work in progress.
Why wouldn't you be able to show it? Because it's our pattern? And it's
Kind of, sort of.
it's the
Kind of,
cowl
sort
version.
of.
It's the cowl version of our
Kind of, sort
pattern.
of, yes. Yes.
The original pattern hasn't even come out yet. I just sent it to the test knitters. I know Danny is starting today. She's starting
I
to
know
knit it
it.
today. Did you see her post on Instagram?
I know. I saw them. Hey, can I? All right. If you don't let me, actually, maybe you'll change your mind after I show the colors I'm using for the cowl
I
of the
saw
random
your
active
post.
color.
Is that what that was for?
Yes, and Connie from Chili Knits has agreed that when we do release the cowl pattern, that she's going to be the featured yarn because I love them so much, and I love sport weight, and I don't know if in hot areas, hot places, it's a little heavy. It's perfect. I love it. I love the weight of it. I love the how it's especially for a cowl it holds its form. It's not so drapey, and I
Yeah.
guess it depends. Okay, so I told her to send me. Of course, this is undyed, and she didn't even. This is undyed, so that's the one color. This other color, and she's at Harry Potter World right now. So, and I messaged her this morning, and she must be busy. But I think this color is called Sea Glass, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
And
pretty.
then the third color is this one. It's called Maybe.
Oh, that's pretty.
So I've got these three colors as the three colors for the cowl. And I know that the wrap hasn't come out yet, but I couldn't help myself because I'm waiting for your yarn. It's really your fault because I'm waiting for the yarn to do the and I didn't have anything else better to do. So I just had to start just and you haven't even seen it. I show just a little bit of it.
Fine.
The
Ooh.
Pico cast on
Uh-huh.
and here's the little eyelets.
Is that a rib on the
You
bottom?
see it? Yep, that's a little rib. Okay, that's all I'm going to show you. You're going to have to wait, Debbie. Only
So
kidding.
I thought color C would be the blue, but you didn't make color C.
Color C is blue.
Oh, you're
Color
working
C
it
is.
backwards.
I'll let you know when we get done. I have it all mapped out and the pattern almost written. It just needs to be knit. But you don't want to talk about it, so we're going to move right along. Hey, I wanted to ask you, when can we show our finished object of our pattern for random act of color? We decided we're gonna release the pattern June 14th, right?
Sure. We
Did
said
we say
middle of
that?
June. Yeah, we said middle of June. June 14th, 15th. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
So
Whatever.
people will have time to get their Anzula if they choose to use that.
Right.
And we're gonna start random act of color knit along July 1st. That's Wendy's birthday month.
Right.
So when are me and you gonna be able to show what it's gonna look like? Another couple weeks.
Yes. How about let's give our test knitters a couple weeks to post and talk about it and show their progress, and then we can show the finished object next time because I don't have it here with me.
Yes, because theirs is going to be prettier than ours, so they're going to be like, God, that's theirs. I so like the others.
No, I
No,
don't
we
think
ours came
so.
out.
It'll just be, we didn't use Anzula yarn with ours, and so it's just going to
Yeah.
look a little different because we didn't use Anzula for our test. But we're going to knit with our Anzula when we do the knit along. We're going to knit along with all of you.
I can't wait.
Yeah, with our Anzula yarn, so that'll be fun.
Okay, so since I'm talking and using all my words I've saved up for 2 weeks, can I talk about something else too?
Sure.
So let me get my great God's song. Do not laugh at me. Okay, so I was watching KT in Inside Number 23, and she was talking about, Debbie, do you ever watch any audio podcasts? I mean, not watch. Obviously, you don't watch audio podcasts. Do you ever listen to any audio podcasts? Have you?
I have listened to Curious Handmade audio podcast in the past, but I haven't regularly.
Well, I've never listened to an audio podcast before, and she was talking about Shiny Bees, which her name is Jo, and she's also, from what she talks about, she's sort of a comedian. But the one that I listened to was episode number 90, where she actually interviewed Helen Stewart from Curious Handmade.
Oh, okay.
And it was really, really interesting to hear just a little bit about her. I mean, we did the Summertide Knit Along last summer, and So I thought that was really neat. So if anybody is, because most of us are knitting and doing other things while we're listening, and of course you have to stop and look and say, "Oh, I love that yarn." It was real. I didn't know if I'd like it or not, but it was very enjoyable to sit and just listen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Shiny Bees audio podcast with Joe. And I got a message on Ravelry from one of the girls that goes to my local yarn store. A lot of times on Saturdays we go and we knit, and I haven't been in several weeks because things have just been crazy. Her name is Karen, and she said, "You have inspired me. You and your sister have inspired me to do a podcast." I said, "No way." So I went over and watched yesterday. I watched part of it and I watched the rest of it this morning, and it's called SSK Yarners, like slip, slip, knit.
Okay.
But the SSK doesn't stand for slip, slip, knit. It stands for Sharon, Sherlyn, and Karen, which is the three girls on the podcast.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, so what they're going to do is the last Wednesday of every month, they're going to put up their podcast. I had no idea that we had 12 yarn stores in the surrounding areas near where we live.
Wow.
So they're going to feature a different yarn store each podcast, and they're showing what they bought at the yarn store, what the yarn store was about, what things they're kind of knitting on, which is really kind of nice because I know there must be a lot of people who either don't have the means or capabilities to buy a lot of indie dyers and things like that, and they just have their local yarn store. So they kind of do a review of some different yarns that anybody could buy at their local yarn store, and they really are beautiful yarns, and they're really fun. They kind of get a lot more relaxed as the podcast goes on. First podcast, you're like, "Hello, my name is Amy, and I am here to podcast." But she's just like, "What do you guys think? It looks so easy." But it was really, really cute. So if anybody wants to go over there, it's SSK Yarners, and you can look for their podcast once a month, and they're going to be kind of traveling around Georgia. They did the first one, Yarn Rhapsody, which is over in Gainesville, which I have been there before. Cute little yarn store. So you can look after that or go over and watch them. It was really fun.
That's cool.
Okay, it's your turn to talk a little bit because Mom's going to say that I talk too much.
Okay, I will talk for a little bit. So my other work in progress has kind of been a cemetery whip for a little while, but I pulled it off the shelf.
Working on my sweater. Not my sweater.
It's living. It's living in my Fawn and the Fox project bag.
Yes.
The beautiful bag that my sister bought me for Christmas. And wool felt bag, beautiful, my favorite color. And I really accomplished a lot on this sweater this past 2 weeks. This is my Citadel sweater by Joji Locatelli.
Okay, you're starting ready. You're catching up to me, so I have got to. Oh, Debbie, did you connect them?
Yes. So this is where I was. This is where I was at the last podcast. I only had this one arm. I can't hear you when you're talking over top of me talking.
Excuse me, I'll zip it.
I will let you comment at the end. How about that?
Okay, you let me know when it's time to comment. You say, "Okay, time to comment," and I will be quiet and I will sit here and listen.
Okay. It's hard to hear one person if both people are talking, though, is all I'm saying.
Okay, Miss Kindergarten Teacher, continue.
Okay. So this is where I was the last time we podcast.
Like I was saying, I'm only kidding. Go on. I'll be quiet for sure now. Maybe.
So I finished this part, and I started this whole part from up here where you pick up stitches. I don't know if that's showing up. Where you pick up stitches, and then you knit down the other front. So I knit down the other front piece, and then I put them together. You can see I have just one little row across where the back and the fronts are connected, and this is the back.
Without any mistakes like mine.
Right. And this is I'm using Quince & Co. What's the name of our yarn? I think it's called Lark. Huh?
I said Lark, but I talked out of turn, so I'm going to be quiet. You guys figure it out yourself until it's time to comment.
I think it's Lark.
It's Lark.
And I don't remember the name of my colorway because I don't have any of my tags. Oh, hang on a second. I have the bag right down here. So this is the yarn I am using. Quince & Co. Lark Heathers. And this one is called Kitty Wake.
Right.
So that's my color choice. And I have all my yarns down in a bag, and I have my sweater, and I'm starting to do this now in the evenings for an hour or two, and I'm hoping to make some progress now. Although I'm going to be starting my socks today, so that's going to be a little distracting. But my socks will be my travel knitting, and then my sweater will be my evening knitting. And I'm using my Hiya Sharps from my interchangeable set. I think this is a size 5, I believe. I don't have my granny glasses on, so I can't read it, but I'm pretty sure I'm using down a needle size from what the pattern calls for.
Hold them up close. Let me see if I can see them. Oh.
Very funny. Okay, you may comment on my work in progress at this point in time.
Okay, now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, hold on, I got a brain fart. Your chart that you made for us to do this whole shindig of a project, which was not my idea, it was Debbie's. When you're going now across the right front, across the back, then across the left front, and then reversing, coming back, you have to kind of I've made myself a cheat sheet on which one to follow going on the right side versus the wrong side. You know that, right? You just can't follow straight across because it may not match up.
Right. Well, the front 2 panels I have pretty much memorized. That V cable is very easy.
You do.
Well, you can tell it's just the cable and then seed stitch in the middle, so it's pretty easy.
Okay, all right.
So
I forgot that you're smart, so you have that memorized. Okay, never mind. Don't take any. I have nothing else to say about it.
Okay.
Except when I have a quiet house, I better get it out because that's the only time I really can work on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a new section that you don't even know about because last weekend when we were gonna podcast, just real quick, you'll like this one, Debbie. I promise.
Okay, wait. Let me interrupt you real quick.
Sky had got back from Sky.
Well, we didn't do any group news, and I know Connie is now, you said she's on vacation. Is Gabicorn going to be lost in space?
No, Gabicorn her mom is watching out for Gabicorn, and it probably got there safely, and she's not going to be gone forever. So she's going to get back and then whisk it back away for Gabicorn.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for the next section? Because this is really fun.
Okay.
Okay, Sky came back from her dad's early last Sunday. I told her she could be a guest of the podcast, and then we bailed out on her, and she was very upset. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to do something that actually was her idea. So we went to Burger King, or we went somewhere to pick something up before her twirling lesson. And you know how you have to give your name because then they say, Johnny, or then you go pick up your stuff. So we have always laughed about, we need to give them a fun name. So we've always said, Truly Scrumptious from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So she asked the name, and I said, Truly. And Sky looked at me, and she's just like, but the girl didn't know how to type. She didn't know how to write the name Truly. So she put T. So when they called us, they said T, and I'm like, so they didn't even get to call out the name Truly. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to think of even a better name. Okay, so while we were waiting and talking about Truly Scrumptious, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, we started this little impromptu, which is so like Wendy. Everything was always impromptu with her. Name that musical. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1-liners from musicals, and you have to name that musical. Okay,
I don't know if I know that many musicals.
No, you know, because musicals were like a part of our life growing up. You'll know these. These are easy.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Tradition! Name that musical.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Very good. Yay, Debbie. Okay, the next one. How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Sound
Hey,
of
Debbie.
Music. Sound of Music.
Yay, Debbie. Right. That's how it all got started because they just got finished watching Sound of Music at school. So Skyland was like singing that song.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one. Toot sweets. Toot sweets.
That's also from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
From Chitty, yay! Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay, so next week you're gonna have to think of 3 one-liners and see if I can figure them out.
Okay.
Unless you can think of any right now.
Let's see. I need a week.
You need a week to think about it? Or is that one of the lines?
No, that's not one of the lines. Oh. I'll think about it. I know a couple musicals in my head, but I gotta find the right one-liner from them to.
Hard that I can't figure it out.
I won't make them that hard. I won't make them that hard.
Okay. All right. So what's next?
Well, let's intersperse a little bit of news here. Like we said, we have a 2,000 follower subscriber giveaway thread in our Ravelry group. Now today is May 1st, so I will give you May birthday people another week or so before I match you up for our birthday swap. I'll open up June's birthday swap thread in the chatter thread. Let you know. Thank you to all of our birthday swap angels who have signed up. Jules from Diary of a Yarn Snob signed up. I thought I saw that. That was cute. And then Gabicorn, our traveling unicorn, is still traveling like we mentioned. Connie is due to get her down in Chile, and it's taken a little bit of time, but I'm not sure where she goes after that. She probably comes back up to the U.S., I think. Yeah. So, actually,
and if you want to go over, what?
She might go to Eric. I think she might go to Eric after Connie up in Canada. Yeah. So.
If you want to do the Because I Love You rap, either again or it's your first time, go over to Lolo Did It. The Indie Dyer, Lauren, she has a group on Ravelry called Lolo Did It, and people are knitting the Because I Love You rap again, and I think she's keeping it open through the end of May, and the Wendy Sky Shawl Knit Along ends at the end of May as well. Did you see? I'm not ready for that. Oh, that's the prize for the Wendy Sky Shawl.
These are the prizes for the Wendy Sky Shawl.
Yes.
Gail's Art sock blank.
Awesome Bags by Granny.
And Awesome Bags by Granny. Yes, and she still has a coupon code. Don't forget to go over there and check out the coupon code. It's Sisters15.
That's awesome. I've got a lot to show of things I got in the mail this week.
Okay, well, I have a couple finished objects. Do you got any finished objects?
Oh, you do. Go for it.
You don't have any?
Yeah, no.
Okay, can you see that little...
Oh, your little sock that you finished?
My little mini sock. Isn't that cute?
I think you showed that last time. Oh, no, you showed it on your Periscope.
Yeah. So that's done.
That's cute.
And then I also finished my March month block.
Ah.
Pretty. And last night I finished my April block. The blanket.
You did just in time for May.
I know. The blanket blitz really helped, and not having any socks on the needles really helped me with this in-between time for me to get some of my blanket squares done. So that's my...
Oh, Debbie, that's beautiful. It didn't help me at all because I didn't pick up my sock blanket or my 10-stitch blanket at all because I don't follow the rules.
You're such a rebel.
I'm doing other incognito secret things.
Yes. So my other finished object was the full pair of socks out of this yarn that I gave to my girlfriend Teresa. I posted on my Instagram. I don't have them to show because I gave them to Teresa already. So you can go look them. She does. She does. She really does. So she's a sweetheart. Her son and my son play baseball together. No, she's not a knitter. So.
But they fit her, I said. They fit
Oh,
her?
oh yes, they fit her. Yeah.
Oh, good. How's your water?
It's
I'm
very
sure it's even more
tasty.
delicious than that
Very,
mug.
very tasty. Oh, sorry, earthquake. Okay, so what do you want to show that came in your mailbox?
Okay, well, I
Skeins
got a
in the
message.
closet.
Skeins in the closet, but this isn't really skeins just yet, but this is other wonderful things that I kind of have, and then we'll talk about skeins. But the first one is from Jill. She is Kid Farmer 6698 on Instagram. Go over and check her out. It's Kid Farmer 6698 on Instagram. She makes stitch markers.
Is it
She
kid with a
gifted
D or T?
Kid, Kid,
Okay.
Kid Farmer.
Does she have lots of kids?
And let me see, let me take them out so they're not so pretty. She gifted me and you some, but she also gave a bunch for giveaways. Let me.
Oh my goodness.
This little boot
Oh.
and little purse. There's a pig, Debbie. Oh my
Oh.
gosh, I didn't see that. And the genie lamp.
Oh, so cute.
Okay, this is just one of many. Let me just show you. It's Knitty by Nature.
Oh yes, Nitty by Nature. I know her on Insta. I follow her on Instagram.
Here. And here's one inspired beachy stuff with starfish and stuff. This one, I'm going to have a really hard time giving away. It's tea. A teacup and a little teapot. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And here's one that's got a little counter in it. There's that little birdie I've seen before. You see that little birdie?
Oh yeah, I have one of
And
those.
there's a little, it looks like a squirrel and some other, the square stitch markers. I love those square stitch markers on here. And these are for me and you. I can't tell you. I'll send them to you.
Okay.
And then so go over and check her shop out. They're bright, they're beautiful, shiny.
Thank you
Really.
so much.
Thank you, Jill. You're so sweet to send these to us. And people have been so generous. They just instant message us. Can I send you some things? I'm like, no, we don't accept gifts. Of course, send us things. Are you kidding me? Of course, my husband comes and he says, "You got another package?" I'm like, "Of course, I got another package because I'm the most popular one in this house." Okay, so everybody knows Patty Joy, the girl that made the Bishop's Kiss heel. I sent her a little something, and she sent me back one of the most precious little cards and a washcloth, which I don't use. I don't want to put water and soap on it. It's actually my little placemat for my tea for when I sit and knit. In beautiful,
Oh,
my favorite colors.
so
It's a heart inside
pretty.
a heart. I don't know if you can see that.
I can. That's so pretty.
Thank you, Patty Joy. Mwah. That was so sweet. And I think of you every day, and even more so because I have my beautiful thing. Okay, I bought you something else, Debbie. I usually don't. Yeah, I bought you something. Someone was destashing their fabric.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to think it's on my phone and I should have pulled it up. And so I usually just send stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a package, but I couldn't help but to show it because it's so cute.
Oh my gosh, look at those guys.
Those colorful little sheepies. And
Aren't
there's
they
got to be a yard or
cute?
2 yards of them.
How many?
No, I don't know. It's
Oh,
like
so cool.
I'm gonna send that to you. So we have to talk about shop update too, Debbie, because you've been sewing. And look at this other one I love.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Pretty
I
bright.
love that, Aim. I love all those different colors because it's so easy to find an internal lining fabric to go with it.
Match up. So that's coming your way along with your stitch markers.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're welcome. So you show what you need to show, and then we've got some skeins, I guess, because I've got skeins sitting here next to me needing to be shown off.
Okay, so I made an order to our friend Christine over at the Cozy Knitter, and that came in the mail. And she also sent me a
You
very
did.
nice little card that said she was so glad to hear that Mom is enjoying her club. And
She's
she
loving
also
it.
sent me my very first, and I'm hoping it won't be my last.
You got a coffee crisp? I've never had a coffee crisp. Hey, break it in half and send me the other half.
I
You ate
cracked
it
this.
already.
I cracked it open and I ate it right away.
How could
I,
you not share that with me?
I couldn't wait. Amy, it would melt.
I don't
So
care.
we have
I'll
to.
lick the inside of the bag.
We gotta. I have to message Christina or maybe even Tracy and Jody, our Canadian friends, to send us some, and we'll do a swap. We'll do a candy swap like Sue and Chelsea did with them because these are fabulous.
I
Yum.
will have you know if I get a Tim Tam in the mail, guess what? I'm eating the whole thing and showing off the wrapper to you, and not even give you part of it. I'm
So
so appalled.
So this is, I couldn't help it, Amy. It was the end of a weeknight and it was a long day and I was just like, gosh darn
Of
it, I'm
course.
going to eat this whole thing. I ate it before I ate my dinner and it was yummy.
Oh, you bet it was. Did you ruin your supper?
No, I still ate my
Okay.
dinner too. So you want to see the yarn I bought?
That
This
sounds
yarn
great.
is called Tequila Sunrise and as you know, it's self-striping.
Oh my gosh, Debbie. Look, they look like Miami colors. Wow.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yes.
So it's got a stripe
So
of
pretty.
pink, orangey, like a light mango-y kind of orange, and then a bright yellow and a teal blue and a dark pink.
Nice.
So there's dark pink, light pink, mango, yellow, and aqua.
Wow. Oh, Debbie, that's gonna look so cool. Is that what you're gonna cast on today?
No, I'm not going to cast this on. I'm going to cast this on, remember?
That's right, you're wild working.
But these will be vanilla socks, and these
I'm
will be
sure.
cast on very quickly as well.
You need to do another one for like you did of the celebration where you slip stitch. There was a lot of people that liked those, and that gave it a little bit of interest. Instead of doing stockinette for a whole entire sock, which would about kill me. I don't think I've ever done a whole vanilla sock.
But I like that because then you don't even need to look at it or think about it, and you can just knit and not even think about it. That's the good part.
This is why I haven't knit socks since
Ever?
the Christmas cast on.
Oh. Well,
I finished those and I haven't knit.
I've knit a couple pairs since then. So, did you want to show Hedgehog?
Yes. Which one do you want to show? You show one and I'll show the other.
Oh, I thought
You
we'd
show the
show them
dark
together
one?
so we could see how similar or dissimilar they are.
Okay.
You want to do Flying Carpet first?
Hold on, which one is that? Yes.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Ooh, Debbie, you may have some more. You've got more fuchsia. I see fuchsia in mine, but I've got. Ooh, Debbie, how pretty. Look
You
at
have a
your
lot
purple.
more red. Mine is much more
Yes.
multicolored.
Mine is more red and orange base with a pop of the blue. Ooh, pretty. Line carpet. Okay, you ready to show the other one?
Yeah, I think mine is a lot more multicolored than yours.
Popsicle.
I mean,
I think yours is too.
look at.
Yep. Oh yeah, Debbie. Huh. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait to cake it up to really see the colors better.
I was
Ready
going
to
to
show
do my
popsicle?
socks out of that, but I decided to wait and hold on to it. Okay, you ready? This is Popsicle.
Yep. Yes. Ooh, you've got a little bit more of that dark purple fuchsia in yours. Mine's pretty light. Mine's got a lot of almost like a peachy color. Ooh, I love it.
Do you have any bright yellow in yours?
A couple little pops of bright yellow and a couple little pops of neon green.
Yep. And neon orange?
Yep. Love it. Yeah, look at that neon. Very cool, Debbie. Ooh, whose idea was this? Was it my idea?
It
And I
was
told you to go over and
I'm
do
the
it?
one that told you about it. You had no idea.
Of course it was your idea.
And I remember right where I was when I did it too. I was sitting at the table at Round Table Pizza, and my kids were playing games at Round Table Pizza. And I was sitting there and I saw the little symbol come up on, the circle symbol of their logo
Yeah.
come up on Instagram, and it said Sock Club. And I was like, oh my God, get over there right now.
You're such a ding-a-ling.
I know.
Okay, well, you've never gotten People Who Fields, have you? Have you bought any People Who Fields?
Nope.
Well, I messaged them because they have a colorway, of course. Who would not live in Georgia and not get Georgia Stars colorway? So, I wanted it on the sparkle sock base, and she said, "Well, I'm not going to do an update for a little while. It's going to be, a little bit before I can get it done." And then she says, "Well, maybe I'll make an exception." So about a week later, she's like, "I'm dyeing up your Georgia Stars." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so excited." So I got that.
Oh, wow. So
Isn't that
pretty.
beautiful? And I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can see the sparkle.
I can see the sparkle, definitely. Ooh, it's got like a slate greenish gray color too, huh?
Yes, it's sort of a gray slash lavender base, and then you have this really beautiful, kind of like an evergreen and little pops of rust, and this gorgeous, of course,
Purple.
purple.
Wow.
I got two.
Oh my goodness.
She made an exception. She says, "I have two skeins.
And one of those is for me,
I'll
right?
pick." Maybe. Depends on if you get any more yummy things from Canada and share them with me.
I'll arrange
Maybe.
a swap, and I'll make sure they send some to you.
Yes. Okay. Since you're their
So
best
Christina,
friend,
if you're watching,
me.
if you're watching, Christina or Amanda, our Canadian friends, and you want to do a candy swap, and there's some candies in America that you can't get in Canada, you text me or message me, and you tell me what it is, and we'll do a swap.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's show our Anzula that we finally got, that we're holding on to until we do our knit along for the random act of color. So if anybody hasn't seen Danny's,
mine's up on my shelf. I gotta find it. Hang on.
Okay. Give us a butt shot.
No butt shots.
Okay, so Danny picked Gravity, which is this beautiful light gray. She picked Irene, I think, is a pink. And she picked Denim, which is like a denim blue. And I was really worried. I was afraid the denim might be too dark for her, but she got them and she loved them. So she's casting on the test knit for the random act of color, which is me and Debbie's collaboration pattern. And Deb and I are going to be knitting our Anzula. Like we said, we've knitted it before, but not with Anzula. This is the squishy base. And we are going to be knitting it up during the knit along with everybody else who wants to do it. So, you ready to show yours?
I'm ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Go. Debbie, that was the best. I'll hold mine like that. You see that light gray? That's Gravity that Debbie's holding. That originally was going to be with my group, and this darker gray, the pewter, was going to be with hers. And we looked at all three of them, and we said, you know what, I think that light gray really works better with her. Your other colors are Rust and Storm, is that right?
Rust and Storm, yes. Rust, Storm, and Gravity.
Okay, so my colors, this is Pewter, and this is Hibiscus. I thought this was going to be a much brighter, wilder color, but this is really beautiful. And this is I think this is herb, yes. So we got herb and hibiscus and then pewter. So these are going to be the three. So which color? Hibiscus is going to be color C for me, which is the pop color. Which color is going to be your color C? Rust? Yeah. That's going to look
And
really pretty.
I was going to do this as my color A and be a majority
Of the pattern?
of the pattern. And then have this be kind of a light stripe amongst the dark, and then this will be the pop of color.
That's going to be nice, Deb.
Are you going to do, what's going to be your main color? Is it going to be herb?
C is going to definitely be the hibiscus, but I'm not really sure if I should do herb or pewter. I'm always complaining that when I wear my pants, I wear a lot of khakis, but I also have some gray and green pants, and I always complain because every time I wear my gray pants, I don't have a wrap to go with it because I don't usually knit with gray. It's one of those colors that I just don't. And it was funny because I ordered this gray Gravity, and I ordered Graffiti Love Song. And it was like in the same week, and I'm like, what is the deal? I'm like, I have gray on my brain, so I'm thinking maybe the gray is color A.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We have about a month and a half to wait and see. A couple months to see before we start. What else do you have? I've got one more thing to show for my Skein.
I've got one more thing to show as well. And you had sent me an email a while back that Sweet Georgia was doing a grab bag sale. And the email sat in my inbox for a while, and then I finally went over and just decided to check it out. And I couldn't pass it up because you basically get 2 skeins for the price of a little over 1 skein. So it really is a good deal.
Still have it going on, Debbie? Is it still
I don't know
going
if it's, I don't think it is. I think it's over, but you know, I was kind of disappointed when I got it in the mail because it was so close to one of the colors that I had just finished knitting in a pair of socks that I was kind of like, oh, more of the same. But I don't know. The colors are kind of growing on me. I wouldn't pair them together, so they're separate, and they're both called raspberry, but one is like a tonal and the other is more like a dark light stripe.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And they're Sweet Georgia, Tough Love Sock. And I know Tracy really liked this one when I showed it on my Periscope. I'm not quite sure what I would knit with them. Maybe they'll be one of them will be part of a giveaway or.
Well, and Debbie, you need to put them up so they can play in your stash. Because when you're looking for something else, you may pull it and having them paired next to each other, always seeing them together, doesn't do it justice. See what I'm saying? That's just like, who would not love that? I mean, it's just that kind of stuff is meant to be together. So you put it up and you let it rest and don't look at them both together, and you knit on some other projects with different colors. Then when you need something more of a purpley cranberry, you're like, oh, that's right. It's perfect.
And I don't have a lot of purples really in my stash. So, and I'm going to start knitting with one of my purples right now. I can't wait I'm going to cake that up and get that ready for the baseball game tonight.
Well, I had one more thing. It was so sweet of Paper Dag. Isn't she just like the sweetest
she
of all?
She is. I love Dag. She's so sweet.
And
Hi, Dag.
Hi, Dag. I've been waiting because I think I got this soon after the last podcast. I said, well, we're going to be doing all this
and she is the dyer. She is the dyer behind Zia Wools.
Yes. And it was so sweet because she had done a swap with you, and then she was feeling really bad for not sending me anything. And you guys, if you swap or send something to Debbie and not send something to me, or vice versa, we're not going to get upset.
No.
Unless it's candy and you only send one and the other person doesn't share it, then there's going to be issues. I'm only kidding. Okay, so. So look at this cute little accessories bag.
Oh. Hold it back a little bit
Look
in
at,
because it's going to get cut off if you hold it too close. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
look how cool.
hold it back a little. Yeah. That's cute.
And then this side is just like a almost abstract. This cute little zipper pull with this little heart. And she had to send 2 beautiful skeins. She just knows me. This one's called Beat.
One of those is for a giveaway, right?
I wasn't gonna say, but now that you have to say that, now you kind of spoiled that meat that I could keep both of them. But no, you had to bring that out, didn't you? Yes, I was gonna say that. Okay, Phoenix Rising is the first one.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that just incredible?
I love
Those
that.
colors.
Wow. Hold it back a little bit. Your camera seems like it's really close for some reason. Yeah, there you go. That's beautiful. Oh my
Isn't that
goodness, look at
beautiful?
that. That's
And the other
gorgeous.
one is,
You can send
and
that
I
one back to me.
know. Okay. Look at this one.
Oh,
Don't you love this one, Debbie?
that's very similar to the one that she sent to me.
I
In our
know. This is
swap.
like a chili purple. It's if I can read her handwriting.
I can't get it, but it's right up there.
Bead girl or bead girl? I don't know.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much, Dag. That was so kind of you. And I just love like hanging on the shirt tails of Debbie. That's really awesome for me, actually. As she gets popular and even more popular and popular, then I kind of benefit from that too.
You've met a lot of nice people through me in my introduction of Instagram to you.
I know, and my husband probably wants to kill you for that because ever since we went to St. Augustine last July for both of our families got together and spent the whole week at the beach, and that was my introduction to Instagram and the cozy memory blanket, and I'm sure everything else that deals with knitting.
Well,
These
indie
are just
dyers,
like,
really.
that's all you do.
It's when I introduced you to the whole
Well,
indie
yeah,
dyer scene and Etsy and all of that.
yeah. I remember the first thing you bought is an indie dyer. You're sending me all these pictures. It was a yellowish variegated. Do you remember the very first thing you bought from an indie dyer? You
Yeah,
remember it?
yeah.
You remember who the person was?
Neely's Knits.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
My first was Hope Knit and Yarn was my first one that I actually knit a pair of socks. It took me 4 days to knit those socks, and I was so excited to knit them. And then they ended up being a little bit too short. I wish I would have done the leg a little longer, but of course everybody does their first pair of
Yeah.
socks. At least I can put them on my feet. At least I can wear them. But
We should do a random giveaway at some point when we need to do one, just because we haven't done one in a while. We should have the prompt be, who was your first indie dyer that you purchased?
Oh, that's good.
Imagine all the indie dyers we'd get introduced to.
Let's do this. Why don't you, or me or you, will put up a thread in the Ravelry group. Who was your first indie dyer purchase? And let's just run it for like 1 week, and we'll close it Saturday night. So when we do, are we going to do a podcast on Mother's Day next Sunday? Do you know?
Maybe. Yeah, we could probably do one in the morning.
Okay, let's run it for a week, and we'll just do a random giveaway.
We could give. What do you want to give away? You want to give away Dag's yarn? Should we do 2? Because we have this. Remember the packet we got from Barbara?
Yes.
We could give that away, and we could give away.
And Jill's stitch marker thingy.
There you go. Yeah. We could do like 2 or 3. We could draw 3 names. We could do stitch markers, the knitting needle, and the coaster thing, and we'll think of one more thing. Maybe I'll give up
one of those skeins.
Or maybe I'll give away one of these little bags.
Well, need to talk about those little bags. I don't know how long we've been chatting, but we certainly need to do humble happenings. Are we at that point? We need to be.
Yes.
All right, so when are you going to do a shop update? Have you already?
I haven't already. I figured I would show a couple of them on the podcast, and then I would spend this week getting my shop fixed up and getting all the pictures taken and get all the listings done. And then I was thinking maybe like Thursday morning or Friday morning, I would make them all live.
How about a Cinco de Mayo update?
When is that?
Cinco de Mayo, May 5th.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's Thursday.
I think you need to.
Okay. I'll do a Cinco de Mayo update with my bags.
Yes.
And I'll
hold, let's see them.
I'll hold one of these aside for our random giveaway.
Yes, giveaway.
Yep. And then all the others I will post.
Well, let's see what they look like.
Okay.
Make my mouth water.
All right. I'm not going to show all of them. I'm just going to show one of each of the fabrics because there's quite a few. Okay. I have like...
How many do you have, Debbie?
I think I have 32 bags, which is the most I've ever made at one sitting, and it took me forever, but...
Wow.
Okay, so I have this cute Fawn and the Fox fabric.
Hold it stiller. Oh, bring it closer. Yes, now hold it still. I'm being bossy. Oh, that's so cute, Debbie. Perfect.
That same fabric in a little bit smaller bag with a different color bottom.
Cute, cute.
I have this cute little girl fabric.
Yes, I remember you showing that before.
And I have it with the pink peach polka dots, and I also have some of the bags with this on the outside and the peach on the inside, so I kind of mix and match those.
Cute.
I have this kind of retro flowers.
Yes.
I have the watercolor flowers. Batik.
Oh, I love that one.
I have the Wendy Sky.
Yes. You naming all these bags?
I will. I have these little, I don't know what to call these. These are the little ladies that do all the crafty ladies, maybe I'll call it.
Yeah. Oh, cute.
And then I have a couple of these that have the hedgehog or the fox or the owl and the squirrel.
Oh, yes.
And then I have 4 of these large of the ghastly.
Yes, they're the Lukey bags.
Yeah, this is Luke.
I think they need to be called the Lukey bags.
Maybe I'll call them Luke is ghastly. And then I made 2 of these with the owl or the fox, and I put some on the bottom. So these are much taller and skinnier.
I love those, Debbie. Let me see the other side again. Hold it still. Oh my gosh, how cute are they? Ah!
With the fox.
And your little tags are working out?
Yes.
Your new tags?
So let me show you. Let me show you.
And the D-ring. Debbie, those came out perfect. I love it. You happy with it?
Yes. Yes, I really like it. So that's it for the bags. Bunch of bags.
Yay.
And then these. I have several of these. These are like little mini sock bags. These are perfect for one skein. And they're the little barbershop quartet.
Cute. Yeah, put one of those aside so we can do our random giveaway. Okay. It's going to run 1 week.
Okay.
So you're going to make a thread that it was your first $80 purchase.
Right.
Right.
And we're not going to advertise this on Instagram or anywhere else. This is just for our viewers.
Okay, so the 2 of you who are watching, get over there and get into that thread. And I guess we'll be watching when we get to the 2,000 subscriber. We'll We'll close the thread and then we'll just see what happens. Maybe we'll reach that this week and we'll have two people to tell that they've won.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
So what are you doing the rest of the day? You got 2 games to go to?
No, one of the games was canceled, so I only have one game tonight at 5:30. So I will be editing a podcast today, and
Yay.
I will be casting on my monkey socks for the 2 knit-alongs with my bed and wool yarn. And I think that's about it. I think that's enough. I probably should run some errands. I have a little swap package for the birthday swap that I need to put together and get in the mail tomorrow. And I have everything I need. I just need to go get a couple little treaty type things. And then I think that's it. What are you going to do today?
It is beautiful today, but I have got to go get my nails done. I've been putting that off. I'm going to reskein up the Because I Love You cowl, so I'm ready for when the orange shows up. I can get that casted on. And all the kids will be here for dinner, so I'm going to make my famous chicken Alfredo.
Nice.
And that's about it. I really, instead of doing a lot of those other things, I really need to be working on my Rhinebeck sweater and my Citadel, so you don't get too far ahead of me.
You have yours connected. Don't you have yours connected already?
Yeah, I've got about a half inch or so down, but you're going to be creeping up quick, so we got to get that done. Because October's going to be here no time.
I know, it's a competition now. You have to be ahead of me.
No, I don't have to be ahead of you. I just need to make sure I don't get too far behind because I don't want to hear it from you.
I'm not going to give you a hard time.
You're the one that talked me into it, and then when you said it was in the cemetery, I said I'm going to kill her after starting this darn thing that I didn't want to do. Although it's really, really fun. I mean, it is. It's slow. Pay attention. This is not one you will get bored with, but you need to have a quiet house and nothing much going on.
Yeah.
In order to do that.
And just think, after we get that whole body done, guess what we get to do? We get to knit sleeves.
I know, sleeves. Which is basically stockinette with one ridge of, I don't know. It's got the
cable down the side. So we'll be all right. It'll be good. That'll actually go pretty fast.
Then when we get done the sleeves, I get to do the hood because I got to do the hood. I'm doing a hood on mine to cover up all the mess at the top that I did wrong.
You don't have to do a full hood. You can just do like a shawl collar. Just have like, you could do the stitching that has the purl every now and then and just do that. That would be pretty too.
Yeah.
So
anyway, well, as we always say, and we have to remind ourselves, and sometimes it's very hard.
But if you can't be kind,
be quiet.
Right. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the new viewers and the returning viewers. We really appreciate it. We know there's lots of podcasts out there. Thank you for spending some of your time with us.
High five. Okay, you're going to share your candy if you get any more.
I will. I will pass some along, I promise.
Okay. Not the end that has the bite off of it either.
I have to use a knife and cut it first?
Yes. You have to measure it and measure exactly what the halfway point is. Then cut it. I don't want your cooties on my end.
All right. All right. Have a good Sunday. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.